The Utah State BYU basketball talk to the end. So Utah State's going up against BYU. It seems weird. Maybe I'm a little bit too critical of this team or the coaching staff or whatever, but it just seems weird to think, oh well, the Aggies just need to make shots. If the Aggies make shots, they'll be okay. And that's kind of how this team is. They've got to make threes. They've got to make shots to stay in games, and that just kind of doesn't seem right. But that being said, the Aggies have proven against BYU last year in Vivint Smart Home Arena that they gave up so many offensive rebounds, so many, just had a horrible rebounding night that you can't do that against Yoli Childs and BYU and win. So that's the main key that I would say as far as something the Aggies can do to kind of a key to the game is definitely control the boards, get a good game from some of their big guys, and also make shots, because on offense, when you're making shots, this team can be really good when they're making shots. And they're coming back from injuries. Some of their injuries should be back, or some of their guys should be playing. So that'll help. Although I've been pretty impressed with Brito and Porter. So I guess we'll see what happens with the minutes. When some of those guys start coming back. So. Basically, so a couple things, like I say, for the podcast only to kind of recap. Podcast only listeners get to hear that the Arizona Bowl is a really, really, really high possibility. The coaching staff, I think, football recruiting, one thing to watch is some of those positions, like the trying to get somebody in there that can play right away with like a safety, defensive end, and a safety. Those will be the really key positions for the Utah State defense that we'll all be watching for. Get your updates at ustateaggies.com. Trying to think if there was any other news. I guess I'll definitely we'll record another podcast here pretty soon, so stay tuned. So thanks for listening. One last thing that I was going to mention as well is there's a link to donate money to this podcast. We're always looking to improve the podcast, both through coverage, guests, technology, recording equipment, travel to away games, that kind of thing. So if you like this podcast, you want it to continue, you want more content, more podcasts, more guests, better quality, all that kind of stuff, costs money. So if you can donate, even if it's just a couple bucks, if we can get a few dollars from each of our listeners, that would help. So thanks for listening. Hit us up on Twitter at AggieUp, or call it U-State, and keep listening. It also helps to obviously listen, retweet, tell your friends about it, subscribe to the podcast, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, whatever, wherever you listen to your podcasts, we're at. So thanks for listening. See ya.